chances are you felt this too. This subtle yet potent emotion. It can drive a man mad. This inescapable awareness, the cold, empty embrace of the spectrum. Many of us suffer from this ailment in silence, yet it is more prevalent now than ever in our society. It is the silence in the night. It is the solitude's effective opposite. It is the heaviness of the void. It is the second most primitive emotion, right behind fear. This emptiness, this nothingness, this numbness. This is loneliness. If I'm being honest, I've been lonely all my life. Crowds, gatherings, together and alone, young and older. It never truly left. I usually persuade myself into the cognition of it being solitude. However, that was only the case for a short period in my life. I realized that most of it stems from my upbringing. I was in a house full of abusive strangers. How could I know what true belonging and acceptance felt like? My efforts never yielded the feeling I was yearning for. However, as I reflect back on my choices, I chose to be alone. I've never been good at letting people in or to be there when people were referring to me or needing me, but somehow I feel like this is my fault. Now, I won't sit here and tell you, yeah, I've made the best decisions. Yeah, I've always allowed people to get close. And if I'm being completely honest, I've always been really shut off from the world. And that was a choice. It didn't happen until maybe around like the time I was 14, 15. And I had really started breaking out of my shell and, making friends, falling in love, all different types of people and communities that I was getting enveloped in. And there was a certain point where all of that just got yanked from me. And that point, it was my fault. I had been doing things that people just weren't a fan of. I wasn't exactly the most likable and, most honest person around at that time. But I think having that yanked from me for the first time really kind of triggered my depression and kind of triggered that feeling of loneliness. You know what I mean? Like damn, like I have virtually nobody. And I know a lot of people will probably say like, oh, well, you had your family. Oh, well, you had your friends. I didn't have my family. I had my friends at the time, but I didn't really appreciate how I felt around them. You know what I mean? It's a really baffling thing to be around the people that you love, but somehow still feel just so like disconnected from everything, I felt like I was watching my body and my experiences through a glass wall, and I just could not remain present. And it ate at me. The first time I felt loneliness that heavy, it ate at me so bad that I just wanted to end it all. I truly wanted to kill myself. I didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want to have to experience this soul-crushing feeling. And it's a weird thing too, just how heavy it could be. And I think we all fall into a lot of the same symptoms as far as trying to escape or trying to take care of it on our own. And I think that just isolates us more, man. I think we pose solitude as isolation covered up. I think we try to go into stuff like this or mindsets like this or, periods of our times like this or of our lives like this where, yeah, it gets heavy, it gets lonely, and you try to like take it all on yourself. You try to burden yourself by trying to fix yourself up or not trying to bring yourself around other people because you don't want to be weird or awkward or kill the mood. And if I'm being honest, you need stuff like that. You need those type of connections. You need to be around other people at times like this, because I'll tell you this right now, man. I'm 26. I have met thousands of people probably at this point. I have intertwined myself with dozens of people at this point. Like, I'm not what you would call like a household name, but I'm kind of like a household name. I have never felt so alone in my goddamn life than I have in the last 2 years. And it's been tough, bro. I've had to stop talking to my mom. I've basically had to cut off the entirety of my family just over boundaries and a lack of respect and understanding. And that's tough, man. That's tough stuff. The worst part about it, though, is that not only did this feel forced, but I kind of took it and ran with it. And now I feel like I've been using that as fuel and as an excuse to kind of circumvent my other problems, you know. I think we get wrapped up in our heads too much that once we find a way out to not have to deal with things anymore, or to try to have an excuse or get a pass from people, I think that's when we get the most comfortable and we get the most vulnerable. Because, dude, life is tough. This shit is hard. Maintaining your connections with people is hard. It's not something you're just blessed to always have, you know. Like, people are people too. You have to actively make them feel wanted. You have to actively, you know, water that bond that you have with them. And if I'm being honest, I have not done that. I've not done that at all. I could sit here and tell you how sorry I am. I could sit here and tell you everything that's happened to me. I could sit here and I can tell you everything that's going on in my head, but it would do little to no justice, you know? I think the only way to really get past this loneliness in my life is to truly just be a better person, man. I've always thought that, but it's time to start acting on that. And I have to give myself props. I've come a long way. I've been through a lot of shit that normal people probably wouldn't have to go through in their regular lives. And I don't do comparative suffering, but it's just different, man. But you know what I'm realizing? That loneliness doesn't last forever. That loneliness is not defining me. There are people out there that want you here. There are people out there that want you around. There are people out there willing to be there for you. You just gotta let them. And I think I'm finally entering a point in my life where I'm letting a lot of this stuff that's hurt me go, and I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing to let people be there for me. I'm choosing to let people see my scars. I'm choosing a better life.